to the Prince George's County Cable Television Commission meeting. And we'll start with introductions.
Doris McMillan.
I'm Malcolm Augustine.
Mike Thompson.
Samson Afolabi.
All right. And thank everyone for coming this evening. Prior to the meeting, the minutes were sent to us for our review. Does anyone have any comments or any additions or subtractions from those minutes? And if not, we need a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
I move that we accept the motion. We accept the minutes as presented.
Need a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. All set with the minutes from the last meeting. And we can move to the action items.
Mr. Chairman, there were none.
Okay. No action items. So let's talk about the monthly reports.
For the month of April 2015, the Cable Commission has received 12 open calls for Verizon, 11 closed calls for Verizon, and 1 outstanding for Verizon. And I will just highlight the one that remains outstanding. And by outstanding, I just mean that it wasn't closed in the month of April.
Okay.
Okay. The one for Verizon, a customer called in a complaint for a community Saxony Square, Kingsley Hall, wherein she saw that there was an open cable box with wires hanging out, and the customer actually stated that Verizon put a piece of plywood over the hole, but never came back to replace the cable lid or fill in the hole. And now the plywood is dry rotted out, and it's been over 7 months since she's tried to work directly with Comcast to get that issue resolved. A lot of traction on this ticket took place in the month of April as outlined in the monthly report, but as of May, this ticket is closed.
Okay.
For Verizon, we had 9 open calls, 9 closed calls, and 2 outstanding. The 2 outstanding...
I'm sorry, is this Verizon or Comcast?
Did I say Verizon? I meant Comcast. I do
Okay.
apologize.
No problem.
Okay. So for Comcast, we had 9 open calls, 9 closed calls, and 2 outstanding. The 2 outstanding for Comcast are Mr. Simmons, who initially lodged his complaint back in August 2014. Mr. Simmons had several complaints, but the one that is still remaining is the issue where they have wires in his 200-unit apartment complex, and the first phase of the project was supposed to be completed back in November 2014, but that did get completed April 20th, 2015. I believe that according to the notes here that Comcast went out and assessed the situation and felt as though, with the large amount of work that needed to be done, that they needed more manpower, and thus it would take a little longer than originally expected to complete. As of May, this particular issue is still open.
Okay, so it still needs to be rescheduled?
It's
The work that was sent, I know it was a long list. There's been a lot of different things that they've worked on.
right. So this is the only of many complaints that Mr. Simmons has. This is the only one that still remains open. And as of 4/20/2015, Comcast did complete the first phase of the project addressing the 200 units and the post wires.
Okay.
The second outstanding call for Verizon is for a Mr. Wayne. I keep saying Verizon. I'm so sorry. The second outstanding call for Comcast is for customer Mr. Wayne. This issue was referred to Comcast legal department for action, and thus cannot be discussed in a public setting.
Does it remain open, or is it a closed case at this point?
Have we received any update
No
at this
update.
point?
No
No
update.
update. But we will leave it open just, to track until we know, in fact, we don't really need to know what the final outcome is,
Right.
but just that, it's been resolved, and then we can stop tracking it there.
No problem. Okay.
That concludes the monthly reports.
All right. Anyone have any questions or comments about the monthly reports? No? All right. Okay. And prior to the meeting, the community television report was submitted to us. Do you have anything to add to that?
There's nothing to add to the report, but if I could just make mention that we're accepting applications for our summer youth camp, which starts June 28th through August the 6th, I believe. It's a 6-week television production camp from 10 to 3, Monday through Friday. So we're accepting applications until June 8th.
Who's eligible?
Ages 13 to 18.
Okay.
Okay, are there any other kind of requirements, or just 13 to 18?
They have to complete the application, which is online,
Right.
on our website, and they do have to submit a 1 to 2 page essay of their interest.
Okay, great. All right, fantastic. Does anyone have any other questions for community television?
Do they have to be a Prince George's County resident?
They don't, but we look at Prince George's County residents first. And we only accept like 12 students, up to 12 students.
Okay, great. All right, the next section is public comment. Do we have people who have comments for this evening?
Okay.
Public comment, ma'am?
Miss
You?
Maxine Mark. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
you may
Yeah,
go.
come on.
Come on up.
We don't bite.
You just take that seat there.
Hi, my name is Sasha Mark. I had made initial complaints through the website on March 24th of this year at 11:13 a.m. I had the guy in his name is Lee Hurd. He filled out this paper and signed his name and everything on it. And I had got them to turn off my cable. So he passed on these in the building, and if you can see what it says, if you want me to pass it around. And I had that, it says that if your cable, if you got your cable turned off, you can get it turned back on at 3 days. So I had did that. So when I called him after the 3 days, I called him in 5 days because no one came out like he said it was. And he told me to call Comcast. So I called them, and Comcast said they don't know who Lee Harris is, and they know nothing about those cars or anything. And I explained to them, everything. I told them the paper, and if you want, I have his signature right here with the date when he came and picked it.
Sure.
When he came and picked it up, everything. He signed it, I signed it. And then Miss Gina had called me and told me that she's going to have someone from Comcast call me, which he did. His name is Corey Ings. And when Corey called me, he was very rude and inconsiderate. He told me that he asked me, first of all, he never addressed my problems at all. He never even asked me what the problem was or anything. He asked me what was my social security number. And I'm not giving my social security number out to anybody, I don't know you. And he said, well,
Excuse me, ma'am. What was the phone number that you called? Did you call the phone number in this?
I called the 1-800 Comcast.
Did you call this number that was on this card?
He's the one who passed out, and he's the one who's that's Lee Harris, and he's the one who came and picked up the box.
Okay, I'm trying to call this number.
Sure.
Yes. That's him. And then when Corey, when I wouldn't give him my social security number, that's when he became rude, and he like, well, if you have any outstanding bills, you would need to clear that up before you call me back and talk to me again. And I don't feel that's how you talk to customers when you're in customer service. That was very rude, and I told him, I said, you never even asked me what the problem was, you never addressed the problem. You just want to know my social now. And I said, no, I don't want to talk to you. And that's when I proceeded to call Miss Gina back again, and I told her how he treated me. And I didn't talk to him anymore.
Well, I just called the phone number and it was forwarded to a voicemail with no voice.
Okay. Just as a practice, does Comcast ask for a person's social security number over the phone?
I don't know why that
Would
would
occur.
have occurred,
Yeah.
so I could certainly talk to some of the supervisory, and management personnel, the call center, and see. I know that oftentimes staff, I believe, does deal with Mr. Ames. He's on the escalations team, so I'm kind of disappointed to hear these, comments, but I will speak with the head of the department, tomorrow.
What about stuff like this?
I
mean, it looks very official.
Never seen anything like that. And quite honestly, that kind of concerns me a little bit as well, because that's not even our logo anymore.
Right.
That's not the logo that we use.
And this
So-
goes back in February. You
Yeah.
all changed your logo since then.
Oh no, that happened when we
Long time ago.
did the NBC
Right. Mhm.
Universal. So,
And that would also apply probably to the paperwork. Would this not have also been updated, or maybe this?
I will have to find out. I'm assuming, or at least I can ask. Did you provide a copy of that work order to staff?
No.
You just brought this in right now.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Hand that back over.
And those, little cards was passed out in the whole complex. I live in a 6-story, building. They was passed out in each apartment, and that's how I got it. So I'm not the only person that got that. It's in a whole complex where I live at.
Chances are somebody gave out their social security number. Good possibility.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming, first of all, and I'm sorry for the experience that you had. And it does seem like this is a very serious matter, you know. And I'm quite certain that there's a representative from Comcast here now who would need a copy, at minimum, of the materials that you had. And clearly, if they do try, whoever it is calls back, I mean, obviously they have to give out your social security number. So
Yeah.
I'm thankful that you did do that.
He didn't like what I did. I wouldn't give him my social security number. That kind of upset him. But I told him, no, I wasn't give it to him.
Right. No, I understand. Definitely understand that. Is there something that you would want us to do on your behalf? I mean, we're going to follow up on it, but we'll follow up on it generally speaking. But is there something specific that you would ask for us to try to do on your behalf?
I mean, as far as retraining him and doing what he needs to be done and taught how to treat customers, because the way he talked to me and the attitude that he took, wasn't appropriate for someone in customer service in his position.
Okay.
That was not appropriate at all. For him to get attitude with me for no reason, that was uncalled for.
Okay.
I don't think so.
All right. Well, we definitely have the people to be able to follow up on that. Just as a follow-up, so are you now with or without cable service right now?
My mother had it turned on. My mother was saying it, so she had it turned on.
Okay. So did you in fact get different boxes, or
Yes.
you did get different boxes?
I just got different boxes, about maybe a month ago.
And you got them from Comcast?
Yes.
Did you pick them up?
My mom did.
Oh,
She went and got it
Right.
okay.
instead of having somebody come to
Right.
install, which is what these things were saying, right?
Yes. Well,
Which
that
seems-
said that, they will come back out and install them again, but that wasn't true. Not
Okay.
at all.
And just one last question. So you said you live in a complex,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
Was it a situation like you said where everybody got cut off?
No, everybody got the cards.
So you never actually got cut off?
Yeah, I got cut off too. But everybody had those cards at their door.
everybody got the cards,
Right.
but not everybody got
No.
the shut off.
Right.
So they just got the cards.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know too many people around there, so.
Hmm?
I don't know anybody around there, so.
I understand. I understand. Now I was just trying to see
Oh, yeah,
if
I don't know. I
okay.
just know everybody
For
had those
yourself.
cards.
Everybody got it. Everybody got the card.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that clearly we would want to know, I'm sure Comcast too, would want to find out who would send something out like that and what's
Okay.
going on with that. So we definitely will follow up on that.
Okay.
I'm sorry for your
Oh,
inconvenience.
that's no problem.
Okay.
Thanks for hearing me out.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
The next person would be Mr. Wang.
Good. So I have my friend to be translating like some of it because I want to make the things to be clear to everyone because my native language is not English. But I've tried to do this on my own. So I want to inquire about the refund process for Comcast because I was a Comcast customer like 1 year ago. And after like 1 year, I moved to a new place where my landlord has the cable service himself. He was using a different company. So I waited, like because I thought that one day I would still be using the Comcast service. So I kept the balance in Comcast account like for almost a year, like until December last year. And then I realized that the landlord has signed the contract for such a long time, I probably would not be able to use the Comcast service like within my like program here in Maryland. So I tried to ask Comcast to refund the credit of the account. Like they refunded like portion of it, like a partial of it, and they asked me to provide all the payment confirmation from the credit card company. But I asked them like what kind of payment confirmation do they need, and they asked me to provide like a paper confirmation, and the credit card company said that they could be doing conference call to confirm all of the transaction history because it's like the card I used to pay the Comcast bill is the prepaid rewards card. Like they have my name on it and they also have my address on it, but it's a rewards card. Like it's not a like the regular credit card that would be going into your credit report or going to have like delinquency or that kind of consequences. So I'm kind of stuck in the middle now because Comcast will not, like they do not give me any viable like proof to prove that I have actually paid this amount of money. They have all the transaction history themselves, but they asked me to provide the credit card companies like payment confirmation for that. So I have like more than $3,000 like at their hands, and I have no way to get my money back. So I want to see if the commission has any approach to address this problem.
This is the one.
Okay. We are aware of your situation. It has already been brought to the commission, and we have been tracking it. With that being said, because of the nature of your situation that we know, and obviously the amount of money that is involved, and I'll take the lead from our staff person that there are some things that we can't talk about as far as we know, but we are tracking and keeping up with this situation. Is that correct?
That's exactly right.
Okay. And I think that's sort of where we are. Now, I would just kind of generally ask you, have you been able to get you're at a loss now as far as being able to ask for the confirmation of information from the card?
Like because I asked the credit card company, like they are able to provide confirmation of the transaction
Right.
at their phone because it's an
Not phone, but they're saying not the
there's no like paper.
Paper.
Yeah, there's no paper because like it's pretty much like when you check your balance, you go online and then they will show you some like what transaction was made at what date and kind of like which company charged you. But because it has been like 1 year ago, like and also the card has been considered to be drained out because like the denomination of the card, like when the value falls to 0, they would basically kind of like maintain the account, but they would not let you access it. Only their customer associate would be able to see the information, and they said that they have already provided the money and they don't know what a payment confirmation is. It's like they said, I mean, I'm not exactly sure how this worked out because like in the company that, let's say I made a transaction, and how do I know that the payment confirmation would be coming from, like the payment confirmation between the companies, how do they work out? I have no idea about that.
Okay, Mr. Wayne, now, and we actually have been tracking, and I think that we now actually have some more information. So even though, because of the nature of the situation, and obviously, I mean, I understand where you're coming from, that's a lot of money, obviously, I mean, that's a serious matter. So I know that we will have logged, we know that we have been tracking and keeping up with it. It is on, before you got here, you wouldn't even heard your name. You would have heard your name called not long ago, because we are keeping up with it. Okay, so know that we are keeping up with it. I don't know if anybody else has any other comments about or want to say anything to.
No, I guess he's just concerned about when he might see his money again.
Yeah, I'm sure,
Yeah.
and I know that we'll follow up as best we can, understanding the parameters, and obviously it's a serious situation. Okay, I do thank you for coming and giving us at least a little bit more information than perhaps maybe we had before. All right. You have any other questions or anything else for us? Okay. I do appreciate you coming. I do. Thank you. And as I said, we already were tracking it, and we will continue to do so until it's resolved. Okay. Thank you very much. All right. Is there anyone else for public comment?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Comcast, you have a report for this evening?
No.
No report from Comcast? Verizon, any reports from Verizon this evening?
No, no report.
Okay. And then we'll move into commissioners' comments. Start
I
from
have none.
Okay.
For Ms. Haney, I do have a question regarding the statistical report that you provided. Now, this, if I'm reading correctly, is for the quarter that ended
Yeah.
March of this year, correct?
Right. So this is there. It is. I believe that this. I'm not sure if this. I know we received this information, but I'm not sure if this is not considered trade information for them.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
With regard to,
Okay.
you know, other folks. I mean, obviously, there's important information there. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So we have to just be very careful with that because they shared that information with us in a confidential way.
Okay.
All right.
I can stay later though, if you have a question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. That's
Sure.
fine.
That's
Yeah,
good.
I definitely have questions.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sir Falabi?
Yeah, I'm okay.
You okay? All right. The only comment that I would have is that I did receive continuing questions just about wires and, you know, and on polls and things like that from different neighborhoods, and that I know that's like an ongoing concern, which is like, you know, loose wires or extra wires coming from the both you know, cable and then from phone, I would assume phone companies and FiOS and things like that, and that's a continuing issue that people have brought. They're still bringing that as an issue, and that we need to, if possible, know, is there, I guess generally speaking, is there a place that we should go or that we should send people that is before the franchise managers for things just, you know, like wires and stuff like that? And
they should come to the Cable Commission if they're in Prince George's County and not within a municipality. If they're in a municipality that has its own franchise agreement, then that municipality has its own enforcing rights where they can open up a complaint to whomever they feel is the responsible party to address those wires.
Okay.
But to specifically answer your question, no, DPW would not have any,
Well, I actually wasn't asking for the county.
Okay.
I know it's not the county. My question was, just as we have, should they call the customer service number like, anyone else, or is there some other group or number that they should be calling from Comcast and Verizon?
Just a regular resident?
Yeah. Is there, or should they just call just the general customer service about those kinds of matters?
A resident can call the general customer service number, or they can go to their administration, within that municipality, or Prince George's County Cable Commission.
Okay. In other words, what I was asking is that, is there a different
There's no
group?
operations for loose wires and Verizon for a number for a residents to call.
Right, that's what I was
They would
asking.
call the traditional.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Is there like a plant operations kind of thing, you know what I mean? Which would be different than a customer service sort of thing. If there is not, that's fine, but I just wanted to ask the question.
Right, yeah. And I answered, no,
There's
there's
no.
no addition.
Okay,
So they
the answer is
might-
no. Still go through the same, we tell them they go through the same channel for all issues for your services, including wires and things like that. Right? Okay. That's all that I was trying to get to the bottom of, is to try to help people, navigate this type of issue, which is different than a service issue. Because they may not be customers. That's the other reason why I'm saying that. So the trouble is, someone calls, they don't have a customer, they're not a customer number because they're not your customer, but there are wires from a previous customer or something like that that are all over the place. And so that's really why
I would direct them to their municipality.
these are outside municipalities. So this is just within our, meaning,
County.
you know what I mean, like you're saying direct them to the cable commission?
Now, they wouldn't know how to identify the wire being electrical, cable, FiOS, so it might be good to go to one administration and then they would reach out to maybe all of us to try to identify the wire.
Right, and that's the whole though, right? Because that doesn't exist. I hear what you're saying. It doesn't. Meaning there isn't a central number for somebody who is responsible who can say, you live in Kentland and this one is Pepco, this one is.
That's why I was saying to go to the municipality.
There is no municipality there.
So if you live within PG County,
Okay,
the municipality would be your Prince George's cable administration, right? And you guys could contact us or Comcast to try to have us identify the cable. Or if they live in New Carrollton has their own agreement with Verizon, assuming with Comcast as well, they could go to their mayor of New Carrollton, and then they would contact us.
no, I understand what you're saying. I hear you.
Okay?
Just like she said though, DPW is not going out there and identifying, and that's who would be responsible for where I'm talking about. They're not going to go out there and look at the wire and say this belongs to this person or that
They don't
person.
know.
Because they don't know.
Either.
Yes.
So
That's my
what they
point.
do, no, but what they do is they do contact us.
Yeah.
So, right, we do get those.
Okay.
Instead of
people come to you direct?
Mhm. And in many cases, it is the Department of Public Works for whatever entity it is. So,
Okay. So the place that they should go then is DPW. That's what you always be suggesting. Of course, they'll eventually get back to you.
So DPW, Department of Public Works. I'm saying cable administration for whatever municipality they live in.
So I understand what you're saying. The problem is that it's not
So,
cable,
so
right?
what-
Because cable only has one of the wires. They don't know, just like you know.
But
So,
they,
I'm sorry, I think that I can probably sum this up really quickly. So our residents do know that the county has a 311 system. And so all calls should start there
Okay.
unless it's directly related to cable television service. So the residents know that they can lodge a complaint by dialing 311
Okay.
or subscribe to my PGC or going to the county's website to lodge a complaint about open wires. The call taker then knows who to dispatch those calls out to. One would come to the Cable Commission, one would go to DPW. So that's the first number that they should call, even before the Cable Commission, because when it goes 311, the call will eventually get routed to us.
Okay.
From 311, if you're within Prince George's County.
Okay.
Can I, is it to multiple persons though, or?
It's a call center. So
Right, I understand it's a call center, but I guess my question now is you're saying that it will be dispatched to the Cable Commission and DPW and or Comcast. So they're taking the call and dispatching it to 3 different persons, I guess is what I'm asking.
they're taking the call and then dispatching it to 3 different agencies. So it wouldn't get to Comcast or Verizon unless it came through me. That's the only way it's going to get to that third party. So it's dispatched intergovernmental
Right.
to whoever handles, and they have, say, a workflow chart that tells you when there's an issue for cables, and that could be telecom cables, that could be cable television cables. They know who to dispatch those calls to.
Okay, so it goes to one person, and then you would dispatch it to either Comcast, Verizon, or
If
DPW.
I found that,
Okay,
right,
so
it
it's the
fell
ones-
within, something that was germane to me, then I would send it out to Comcast or Verizon.
Okay. That makes sense to me. That hearing no other, anybody else have any other comments or anything? Okay. The next meeting of the commission will be on Wednesday, June the 24th. And I will see you all then, and I appreciate you for coming this evening. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.